Alright, hey guys, Simon here and welcome back to our Minecraft design school. So today we have the Kingdoms United Spawn by a guy called Kevin. So let me just read you what he has. Ooh, look at that, wow. So this is creative mode. So if you're a survival player, don't feel inadequate. Haha. So he says, "Hello Simon, my name is Kevin. I have played Minecraft for almost 2 years now. I first started making rather simple builds, but after seeing some of your creations, especially the Crystal Tower, which most impressed me, I tried to make larger and more detailed builds. After quite some time, I managed to improve the quality of my creations. That's good. That's good. You know, you practice, you build, you learn, and you get better. That's basically how you get better. It's just practice. And thinking, of course. Anyway, let's keep going. Right now, most of the stuff I built is on a server, the Kingdoms United, and about a month ago I made a spawn for this server. Since you are not only an expert in not really an expert in architecture. Maybe I am. Am I an expert? I'm quite educated in architecture, let's just say that. But also really mindful of level design. I would like your opinion on the design of the spawn and how well do you think it can handle new players and direct them to important areas of the server. I really would like your advice in order to improve my future creations." Okay, so it's a server spawn area, so if you are new to the server, you start here. So, I mean, the introduction area would need to, as he says, tell players what to expect on the server, I guess, where to go to find interesting things. And I guess if there's any rules on the server or any other information, it should be here as well. Alright, so he goes on, just some details that might be important. The server runs pretty much with 80 to 100 players at the time. Is that maximum, or is it actually concurrent players? He says, "We have a plugin on the server that allows us to make portals that teleport players to other locations. Therefore, many of the places you see on the build would have those portals on the server. These are pretty much the stargates with water on them, and the balloon with the sign, 'Step inside to get a better view.' Okay. Players can't leave the spawn island by falling from it, only using the portals. Okay. We have two separate worlds in the server, creative and survival. These worlds are accessible using the big portals in each respective building. Okay. The idea of the spawn is to direct players to either survival or creative while still giving a good first impression of the server. Players enter the server on survival mode so they can't fly around, but feel free to do so in order to explore." Alright, and then he gives us, I don't know if he wants me to, you know, put the server, if you want to see the spawn with all the plugins, you can check out the server at, I don't know if he minds me putting up the address. I'll ask him that before I upload this video, I think. And so if you look in the video description and you see the server link, also the server address, then it means that he's okay with you visiting him. Alright, so we start facing this way. So I don't know how other people react. Like, how do people usually read instructions? "Welcome, the Kingdoms United. Walk downstairs, read the rules, access survival or creative." And that is pretty much the same thing. Walk downstairs. Okay, right now I'm thinking the moment we spawn, we have 4 places we can go to. I wonder if that's good. I mean, if there's only one exit, then there's only one exit and there's no need to choose or anything. But there's 4, and I think we're not supposed... Oh, hi skeleton. Hi. Hi skeleton. Hi. So I don't think we are... Is he gonna follow me now? Okay, no. Like, if there's only one exit, then it's obvious. I mean, this is like a central... Like, this is a circle, right? So we start in the middle, and you can go out in any of these directions, and then downstairs you can't actually go anywhere else except to the rules, I think. Alright, so it's the same all the way around. I mean, like the building itself is quite good looking. I look at this arches all the way around. Like it's a beautiful building. I just don't know. Look, and then the stairs is a double spiral. Again, very fancy. But again, you're giving. I mean, there's nowhere else people can go, I guess. But there's a lot of paths. And I just wonder. And then once you get to the bottom, there's a lot of different exits. So they can go wherever they want. And then, okay, there's the rules. Hi. This is the rules, and then, are these the same rules? No, these are different rules. Those are different rules again. Those are the instructions, actually. And then these are ranks. Okay, should I read all of this? Let me just see. I mean, there's no sequencing. What does that say? Ranks. Okay, I see. So info, rules, ranks. Okay, I see. But there's no sequencing. It's like you're put into this centralized place. You can go wherever you want. And if you play any video game, the tutorial levels would not be like this. In almost any video game you play, the tutorial level would always be just one line. You go from the start, there's only one direction you can go in, and you just move into the game. And as you walk along that single path, all these information is given to you. Like having so many different paths and allowing the player to do this without sequence is unusual. I'm not saying that you can't do it, I'm not saying that it's not going to work, but it is unusual, and you run the risk of one of the players, assuming that all of this is the same and then just walking past it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he comes down the stairs, if you pretend I'm a younger person, I'm not very patient, I just want to see things, right? Then you're allowing them to not read these things. Like, if you want to make a tight tutorial, what you might even do is, have the instructions, like put them in a gated chamber. So you put them in a room with a gate and a door, so that they actually have to read the instructions to open the door and get out. So then you make sure they read everything. I don't know if you want to be that strict about it. Obviously, it's a contrast to what you have here. Here you can just kind of spawn in and walk straight to your destination. Whereas if you do what I suggested just then, like put a gate there so that they actually have to read the instruction before they can open the gate somehow, then that's a lot more constrained, right? They're forced to read things. I don't know. I mean, there's pros and cons to both approaches. For one, you might bore people to death if you force them to read things. But on the other hand, they won't miss important information that you don't want them to miss. Whereas here, they do have the option of just walking out, and it's a very good building. Look at all these guys. Like, it's a good looking building. Wait a minute, is survival peaceful or is there mobs? I'm guessing it's gonna be peaceful on your server, because otherwise you're gonna have all these guys. Oops. Oops. My bad. Okay. Wait, that's not right. Okay, never mind. Let's walk somewhere else. Oops. Yeah, I'm guessing your server is peaceful. So, like, I don't have any firm answers as to what you might do. But I think just keep that in mind. Like, here they have, like, you run the risk of people just running out and not reading anything. What does this say? To survival and creative. What does that say? To survival and creative. That might be a little bit obscure as well, because look, you've got a circular building and it's the same on all sides, but survival and creative is this way and not the other way. But when you're just down here looking around, it's not obvious, which way the exit is. Like every direction seems the same, but in fact there's one particular direction that you need to go. Maybe that doorway, or maybe that kind of opening, and that opening can be fancier and more interesting than those, so that when you look around you can see the opening. I mean, at the moment, like, that doesn't really look any different from that. I know you have the signs there, but the signs are very small compared to the whole space, right? So just looking at that, you can't tell that one is the exit and one is not. So maybe that's something to consider as well. So let's just keep moving forward. So you come through and come around. It looks really good. It does look really good. Look at that. Very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. The main hub. Go to your left to access the survival world. Go to your right to access creative. So you got creative and survival and that thing. And that looks pretty awesome. I don't know what that is, but it looks pretty awesome. Giant staircase. Yeah, so very, very, very impressive. What's down here? Okay, so we're repeating the same thing. New spawn. This will be the new spawn for the server. This week build off theme is Greek and Roman builds. Okay, cool. So you got server events, that's fun. What does that say? Donations. These are all the donation packages. Please note you are donating, so we don't give refunds. Breaking rules can imply removal of benefits. Alright. So the zombie here is reading about the donations. Unfortunately, he's too stupid to realize that there's no words there. In the meantime, so we've got, hold on, what is this? Does this lead anywhere? Isn't this the survival world, or is this not? Wow, you went to all this trouble to build all this. This is very, very impressive. What's all this stuff? Survival. Wait, isn't all of this survival? Oh no, that's creative. What is this stuff? Skyblock, it's not open yet? I can't read that. I can't read those signs from here. I know I'm playing not full screen, but I think those signs need to be closer to the ground because Hunger Games. I don't know. Yeah, I can't read that from the ground. Anyway, that's a minor issue. What's all this? Are we in Skyblock? I guess we are. Or we're in some kind of Skyblock. Let's see what's down here. I mean, once you step out of the building, I guess out here you don't need to have as much structure, but I do think the very beginning, I feel like you're giving people too many options. Unfinished. I guess these are the important people on the server. Wow. See, all of this looks really good, right? Looks pretty amazing. But yeah, the tutorial, if it were me, I would tighten it a bit. And I've said that already. And I said it's up to you to choose between the two different styles, right? Either a loose, allow the player to just do whatever they feel like, or tighten it up and actually force them to read, or force them to go through the different instructions. I mean, you've built so much already. I feel a little bit bad if you have to change a lot of stuff. Maybe you don't need to change very much, because the thing is circular. Maybe you just close off some of the paths so that you have to walk around the whole circle. So maybe like have I'm kind of making gestures with my fingers, but you can't see it. So maybe make the path like a big spiral, instead of in the middle and then going out in 4 different directions and then coming back in the middle and then going out in 2 different directions and then coming back in the middle. Just have them go out in one direction, go around in a spiral, and then go down and then go out in another spiral and then go down. Just the very first bit, just so that, you know, they have to walk past the rules to get out. And if they have to walk past and they still don't read it, then that's their fault, right? Whereas at the moment, you know, they might say to you, well, you know, I just walked out, I didn't see the rules. And there is a little bit of a legitimacy to that, you know, to them saying that, because they can do that. They can just walk out and assume that all 4 panels are the same and didn't see the rules. You know, so don't give people an excuse to say, you know, they didn't see the rules. This looks really good. Like, did you build all of this by yourself? It's a little bit intimidating too, when you start people off with something this impressive. Like, they might feel inadequate. They see this and they think, oh, I can't do this, I better get off the server. I don't know if anyone actually thinks that, maybe they do. Alright, so you don't need me to tell you about making good looking buildings. And you didn't actually ask me for that, so good. You know, and I know that you're more than capable of making good looking buildings. And like, these paths are interesting, like you got pools and bridges and interesting trees. So you're very good at building. You don't need me to tell you that. But you are, so I'll tell you that. Look at that, that's pretty cool. Let me just see what's in here then. So once you get into here, read signs before continuing. Read signs before continuing. See? You shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to arrange the spaces so that they will see the signs. Like, they have to see the signs before they can continue. Like, that's not a... Take the big portal to go to survival. Use the side portals to visit important locations. I don't know, like here we see the big portal, that's good enough. We don't see the side portals from down here. I don't know if there's too much stuff in between us and the side portals. Let me just look at this. So there's the big portal. Jump in the water! Alright, so that would teleport us into the main world, that's good. And then at the sides, let's just look at this. So are these the side portals? Yes, they are. Okay, these are the side portals. So Tree Valley, the prison, Greek Island. So that's good. I like this. Like, I like the idea of it. But as I said, I think maybe there's too much stuff. Because ideally, you should walk in here and be able to see the main portal and all the side portals around you. So then you can actually see what's going on. At the moment, you can't see the side portals, they're behind things. Does the main portal need to be that big? Like, what if the main portal was smaller, and then so that you can see up above and behind it are all the smaller portals? I think it would be better for people to be able to see it open. Yeah, like these. Imagine if they were standing here, then it's obvious that there's a main portal and a whole lot of side portals, right? You can see it from this angle, but then you can't see it from this angle. You see what I'm saying? So I think maybe that would, like, if once you show people that view, I think it'll be very obvious to everyone what's going on here. Whereas if you show people this view, then you really do need these instructions, because they can't see it right away. Alright, let's just check what's on the other side. Look at that. Very, very impressive. You're a good builder, Kevin. You're a very good builder. Do we start up here? Okay, we started up above there, okay. Yeah, like the spatial arrangement is very good. Like you understand spaces very well, that's very good. I like this. Very good builder. So the other side I think is the same. Is this the same? Flying buttresses and everything. Did you say whether you study architecture or not? You didn't say. But I think you've seen enough architecture to know how to do this. It's pretty good. Okay, so the other side is pretty much the same. Yeah. So yeah, so the other side is the same issue, where I think this view is better than this view. I mean, maybe you can make the entrance higher up. No, that's just a bit awkward. Like if it were me, I really would make the central portal smaller, maybe half as tall, so you can see behind it. I really think that's the best way to do this. Like, or maybe you want to raise this up a little and then lower the main portal a little. I'm not sure, you can experiment, and then you can try this for yourself, like which you want to actually, you want to be like this so you can see all the portals at once. Alright, so that's enough of that. Let's just go back to the very start and just reconsider the entry. It looks amazing, right? Very good. Are there spaces here? No, this is just decoration mostly. Alright, so let's just go back and just double check. So there's all this, and there's all this, and there's all this. And we start off here. What's the easiest way to rearrange this so that you don't have to rebuild too much? And this is optional, right? I'm not saying that you have to do this, but if I were to do it, what I would do is close off all of these, and so close off all the diagonal doorways, open up one of the side doorways, and then even keep this, maybe just that. You can kind of remove the other three, so that when you spawn, you should be facing one opening behind these instructions, so that they see the words, they see the door behind it, and then if they look around, they can't actually get out anywhere else. So then they only have to come one way. And excuse me while I break some things like a rude person. And then stairs down. Oh, this is not the stair. Okay, back here. How should we do this? Let's see how far these stairs go down. Like you've kind of done so much here, and it would end up having to change a lot of things, unfortunately, if you do that. So I don't know what the next bit. I don't know how much you're willing to rebuild, but if you come straight out, I mean, what's the most important information? It's the rules, right? You want people to let me just read the rules, just see how important that stuff is. Tips. These are useful. Money, commands. Commands are useful. Staff, vote, and donate. So commands and money and staff, that's probably the most useful. Rules. No griefing, no hacks, no cursing, no spamming, no stealing. English and global chat. Respect other players, pay fair. Don't advertise, don't... Well, okay. Don't lie. Don't ask for ranks, haha. Donators can't give spawned items. No TP killing or spawn killing. Don't make threats to staff. So funny. Alright, so the rules are important. Some of the tips are important. Owners, co-owners, survival, creative, the website. Oh good, you got a website, that's nice. Build off server ban appeal. And then the ranks. Guests and members. Enchanted and veteran builder. Architect. Donators, moderators, admins. Okay. Yeah, so all of this information is quite important. And I really think you're giving the player too much opportunity to miss them if they just kind of leave. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. I'm not sure how you can change this here to make it more obvious. Like I said, I think you should have one path. Like the one path where they have to walk past all 4 of these sets of information. And then you can lead them out down to here, and then they can choose survivor and creative. So up until they get past, up until they've seen all this information, I don't think you should allow them the opportunity to choose for themselves where to go. Because this is important information, you don't want them to miss it. Or rather, you don't want to give people the excuse of missing it. You know, if they walk past it and they don't read it, it's their fault. But if they don't have to walk past it and don't know about it, then it's kind of your fault. Because you're designing the entryway, and you've designed it so that they can walk past without seeing the rules. That's kind of your fault. You see what I'm saying? So don't give them the excuse of being able to say, oh, you didn't design that well enough, so I missed it. Like you have to make them walk past it and not read it for them to not read it, right? Okay, I think that's all I have to say about this. I don't know how many other games you play, but yeah, just look at the tutorial levels of other games if you can. Or maybe like I've played through quite a few different games. You can look through the first few videos of each playthrough and just look at the tutorial. Almost always it's a single path. Like you can't choose, there's no side path, there's no different branching paths. The tutorial is always very, very simple spatially. You just walk through the corridor and the information is just fed to you, one bit at a time. It doesn't have to look like a corridor, but you can't, like, there's only one path, there's no other ways to walk around. Alright, I think I'll end it there. Did you have any other questions? Let me just check your message again. I would like your opinions on the design of the spawn and how well you think it can handle new players and direct them to important areas of the server. I think the main path should have clearer directioning, because look, what you essentially have here is a contradiction. If you want to direct... should I build here? No, I should move somewhere else. You don't really have any place for me to draw things, right? If you want to direct people, you should only give them one place to go, like a direction. Let's look at this. Like if we come over here, like this kind of space is direction. Like there's only one way to go. So this is clear directioning, Spatially, this is obvious. You walk up into the door, right? You can't make a mistake here. Like you'd be pretty stupid to think that you can go anywhere else other than this path. Either really stupid or really creative. Like, why would you think that you can go anywhere else here? Whereas what you have in there you start people off in a circular room, and when you're in the middle of a circle, the shape of it is essentially, what the shape is telling you is that you have infinite potential. It's the same in every direction. That's what a circle is when you're in the middle. It's the same in every direction, and so you can go wherever you want. I mean, that's what a circle implies. You know, a line implies a direction. A circle implies no direction. You know, each way is the same as every other way. So that's there's an inherent problem there, in the sense that if you want to give players directions, then the shape of the building is not helping you. So that's why I say, well, have a spiral. And when you draw a spiral, then you end up with a circular thing, but it's also a single line. That's why I suggest that. So the shape of the space needs to correspond to the function of the space, as it were. Alright, I won't keep repeating myself too much. And I know you're showing me this. I don't know how many other people you've shown this to, but with any sort of gameplay thing, you might want to test it on people. And one of the ways to test it is, like, if you let somebody play it and just observe them, but not even tell them, like, maybe you can tell them this is the spawn area of a server, and then just give it to someone who doesn't know anything about architecture or design or anything like that, and just see what they do. Just see if they actually stop to read the instruction, or if they just walk out the front door, right? And that's the way to test your design on people. I don't know if you can afford to do that though. I mean, do you have friends that you can test Minecraft things on? It's difficult, to test things, but if you kind of ask 5 or 10 people and just see what they do, and see whether they notice that they have rules that they should read. Most people don't like reading. Like, if they don't have to read, they won't read it. And they usually decide, oh, I can probably figure this stuff out later on by myself. So, yeah. I mean, you've asked me to test it, and I have. But at the same time, you might want to test it on more people as well. Okay, I'll stop here. Yeah, I'll stop here, and I'll see you guys with the next video. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them. If you have comments for Kevin of what you think as well. The architecture is very good. Well, in the sense that the buildings are very pretty. Alright, I'll stop. This is SCKChui's Minecraft Design School. You send me your questions and your save file or your server IP address, and I will give you architecture design advice and feedback. See the video description for more details. Seriously, you should read the description before you send me anything. Thank you.